my good people? This your boy Lap Up the Entertainer, here to bring you some action between Grambling State University and UAPB. This is going to be an interesting band battle. I was actually there for homecoming. This is Grambling's homecoming, but I did not see the fifth, and I did not get a fair impression of zero. So just because I was there doesn't mean that I can't judge it right either. Okay, so I just wanted to highlight that as well for those who want to be like, oh, well, you was there, you already got the pick. No. You don't know my true story, okay? I was there for alumni band. I was there to donate to my alma mater, okay? So, yeah, I was there. But like I said, I didn't stick around for fifth. I had other responsibilities I had to attend after the game, actually, So, that's what I ended up doing. So for those who wanted to know, that's what I was doing. Okay, so let's get into the action so y'all know it will be great. And they have a zero quarter, they have a halftime, and they have a fifth quarter. Okay, so it's going to be an interesting watch for both of these bands to see who have the initial edge over the other. Okay, so it's going to be great to see who's going to be, that top tier. I've been looking for this battle for a long time, because usually when these two bands go against each other, it's usually a ballot battle in the fifth quarter. That's what I usually remember when it comes down to these battles, is that they usually have a strong ballot battle between both bands. But we'll see. We don't know. Alright, I'm coming into this kind of blind, just a tad bit. Alright, so with that being said, let me show you what we're grading in zero quarter. Look to the cards next to me. We're going to be grading song selection, power, articulation, arrangement, overall cleanness. Okay? Song selection is going to be worth 5 points. The reason why is because zero quarter, usually bands play something traditional or spirit song that's related to that school. So, if a band does play that, they would be docked just a tad bit for that as well. But we all rating and grading, how strong and how clean they sound, okay? But this is later on in the season, so I'm expecting it to sound good. And I'm expecting that their books to be there, so I'm not expecting them to not have to pull out something traditional during zero. That doesn't make any sense, though. Alright, so with that being said, I did enough rambling. Let's get into the action. Look like UAPB is going to start us off first. Alright, let's give that a grade. Alright, song selections are 5. Power is a 10. Articulations 10. Arrangements 10. Cleanness, I'm going to give that a 9 because of the miscommunication of that tuba break. They was bringing it back, but not everybody came back in on it. It was just like a miscommunication, and it did not sound good when they did that. So I'm just like, you know, if you're gonna come in, y'all gonna have to be in sync with the band director. But almost a perfect. It was just a minor miscommunication on that. So they got a 44 on that. Moving on, Grambling.
Located across the state and visits the middle schools to educate students on this.
Alrighty. I give him a perfect for that one. Had to give him a perfect for that one. Sounded real good for the most part. I had nothing else to really truly complain about with that arrangement. Look like they're about to bring it back, but nice little perfect. Nice little perfect. Get back into it. Okay. Yeah, UAPB with the perfect on that one. No complaints on that one. It was very clean. No complaints at all. It had its moments. That's all I have to say. Definitely had its moments. Moving on. Okay. And look, I don't know why.
I was just feeling sick.
Now slipped.
And it was the worst day. Mom was
Nice work, nice work. They one Super Saiyan in this thing, fam. I see you, Graham. I see you, Graham. I got no complaints on that. Only thing I would say, as far as I would say they're just gonna have to just stay consistent in hitting those attacks. It's not like it's a lot of them missing. It's just very few missing. Okay, it's just not like it's not too noticeable. Okay, but for people who really pay attention, there's a couple people who are kind of missing in there, just a tad bit. But if it was a little bit more than just one or two people, then I probably would have gave it almost a perfect. But it was pretty decent. It was pretty decent. But nice Super Saiyan. letter grade. Alright. So, song selections are 5, powers 10, articulations 10, arrangements 10, cleanness, I'm going to give that a 9. It just was just very shaky in the beginning. They was not hitting together at all in the beginning. Now, look, I want to give you a good comparison. It's like 1 or 2 people was missing, but you could tell it's like 3 to 4 people missing in that. So, you know, that's just me nitpicking, but you know, we want honesty. We want honesty, ladies and gentlemen. So, I think that's one of their toughest songs because it has a lot of articulation in there. So that's why I'm just gonna say that it just was just kind of slightly muddy in the beginning of the song. All right, moving on. The rest of the song was good though. Grambling playing Nick right there. That's a traditional song. We're not gonna read that, and that's them closing it out too. But we'll play it for the band heads though. For the shits and giggles.
Let's do it, KT!
Alrighty. That's the end of 0 quarter, ladies and gentlemen. That's the end of 0 quarter. That's a good way to end it. Good way to end it. So like I said, we're not going to grade Neck, okay? Because Neck is just a traditional song. And, you know, it is, well, I lied. It's a response. It definitely is a response. And I can't count that. But I'm going to say this. Grambling, because they played Neck, I'm going to give them a 3. Powers a 10. Articulations 10. Arrangements 10. Cleanness is a 10. So they got a 43 on that one. Alright. So yeah. Response, man. Even though it was my poor take for what they had going on, that kind of helped UAPB in a sense. But the game already started as well. So it is what it is on that. But when we looking into the 0 quarter, it was a tie. They played Nick. I mean, but it was going into the game, so I'm not too mad at that either. So it's a tie in 0 quarter. That's what we're going to give it. It's a tie in 0 quarter. You know, very interesting battle so far. You know, we're gonna be moving on. We're gonna be moving on to the halftime. So if y'all like this type of content, please consider liking, sharing, and following. It helps your boy out tremendously. Okay. Let's get into the action. Again, please consider liking. If y'all been rocking with y'all boy and y'all like this type of content, like up this video. Let's get those likes up, okay? And you know, possibly share with some fellow bandsmen so they can get hooked to this channel as well. And you know, like I said, if you're new, subscribe. Really means a lot. All right. So moving on to the field shows, okay? If I put arrows on people, it does not mean that I'm picking on them, okay? But it is definitely much needed as far as just trying to, you know, give people that extra incentive as far as what we want. You know what I'm saying? So there's nothing wrong with that, but you know, just we want fair honesty. And you know, if I can't give it to you raw, I'm sorry, but this is what it is. All right. So halftime is what we're gonna be grading. Please look to the cards next to me. We'll be grading entrance, songs, formation, dancers, and breakdown. Overall creativity. All right. If a band is successful and doing something creative in the creative department, they can make a possible point of 30. Also, if they was able to get a 5 in every other category besides the creative department, they would get a perfect field show rating. Okay, UAPB is one of the few bands that actually got a perfect 30. Alright, so I had to give them that they actually got a perfect 30, and if I'm not mistaken, that was it was Honda this year. Honda battled the bands and they got a perfect field show. So shout outs to them for getting that. You know, that was real nice. So I'll put a trophy by their name in the at the bottom, so that way y'all know that y'all know. UAPB. Okay, UAPB. Look at the tab big clean. Oh, okay.
Marching band fan for a while.
I was entertaining though. Slap, it was just, it needed to be a little bit cleaner, but it was still good though. Love a band when they use the whole field. Drill looks real nice. Hey, UAPB. Got the energy. They got the energy.
If you sexy, you know, clap your hands. Let's go.
That was really nice. That was really nice. Alright. So, creative, I'm going to give them a 3. Entrance, I'm going to give them a 4. Songs, I'm going to give them a 5. Formations, a 5. Dancers, a 5. Breakdowns, a 5. Only reason why I got entrance is a 4. Almost a perfect. Entrance was really nice, don't get me wrong, but I just feel like the drum major should just be a tad bit cleaner. I will say this, if you're going to give me a drum major feature and you got a lot of drum majors, you're going to have to stay very clean. Because if one stick out, we can all see it. Now, it'd be different if it was 3 drum majors, it's not too noticeable. But if you got 4 or 5 drum majors out there doing the same thing and y'all doing something unique, it can kind of get clustered with everything, because if one person is late doing a backdrop, we can see that. Alright? So, don't get me wrong, they definitely had some creative moments in there, and it was very strong. Okay? And I think that's one thing, too, to highlight as far as this is concerned, is that, you know, it was still a strong show. So, like I said, almost a perfect. It just needed to just sprucing up on that entrance just a tad bit, but it was very creative, very creative. All right. They got a 27. I got a 27. Very strong, very, very strong. You know, definitely has some potential. But I could definitely tell that they pieced some of this stuff together and put it in the Honda. But it was very good. I really enjoyed it. So, nice show. Very nice show. Alright, Grand Fam. I don't know what to expect, but let's see what we pull out our pocket. That was a strong field show. I don't know, Graham. I don't know, Graham. We're going to have to do something on this. I don't know. We finna find out. Alright, let's see what we got, Grand Fam. Let's get it. Shout out to IVG for getting this for the footage, by the way.
Grand Fam, if you ready for the World Bank, can I get yes, sir? Good performance is rated G. The 4 baddest drum majors to touch a field. From Alexandria, Louisiana, Corey Too Cool LaCour. From Monroe, Louisiana, Isidore Primetime Holiday the Third. From the Laffy Taffy, Lafayette, Louisiana, Evan Sandman Mitchell. And a bad boy from Shreveport, Louisiana, Dale Marshall Jr., the best to ever do it. This is a moment we've all been waiting for. Since 1926, this prestigious, electrifying, multi-talented band has performed in nearly every major stadium across the world. Africa, Tokyo, Spain, from the U.S. coast to coast to the NBA All-Star Game, BET, to stadium seats, the whole to the Super Bowl. They know our name. We are the World Fame. Let's go!
Sintra has just released AI employees, and it has me terrified. You won't believe what they can do. So
It's Lonely Girl. All right, y'all, now the world fame will have you there to your seats as he shows his skill to a precision drill. To Grammy Award winner Luther Vandross, till my baby.
The interest for the drum majors is still kind of shaky. Ooh, 360s on the field, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah.
With Beyonce, and also made an appearance in a motion picture.
That's a hard thing to do.
Come home.
Very pretty drill.
The World Fame Tiger Marching Band performed inauguration for Presidents Bush and Obama and the first inauguration of President Joe Biden. Come home, Graham. Let's go.
It looks very nice. They remember they drill.
Hi, Graham. Tuesday, November 5th is Election Day. And the World Fame wants you all to get out and vote.
Very pretty.
It's Election Day. Get out and vote. York, Jesus. Y'all better sing it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Grab, sing it aloud. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Let's go, Graham! Can we talk? Let's go! Sing it! Come on! Let's go! Sing it! Come on!
Business taxes was all consuming. Now business tax.
Let's go!
Hey, cut up, break. Cut up. Cut up, Grand Fam. Get it, Grand Fam. Get it, Grand Fam. Alright, let's get at a grade. Alright. Creative, they got a 3. Okay. Entrance, they got a 4. Reason why they got a 4 and not a 5 is because one of the drum majors kind of hesitated doing one of the maneuvers. I think it was the mace going behind the back thing. They kind of hesitated. It did not look clean as far as that is concerned. Everything else, though, is a 5. They broke it down the whole entire time. That's Grambling. Okeses did good. They had some creative moments as well. Formations was good. I really enjoyed the sound. Was definitely good. Enjoyed the field show. Almost a perfect. They just missed it just by the drum majors in the beginning, but everything else was good. No complaints at all. So it looks like, ladies and gentlemen, it's a complete tie again. So it comes down to the 5th. It comes down to the 5th. I don't know what it is by Grambling, but Grambling love the tie with other bands. Like I can say they evenly matched as of right now. They're evenly matched. But this is gonna be an interesting 5th. Usually UAPB pull the ballots out on Grambling, and Grambling does too. So it's gonna be interesting to see this takes place and see who gets the initial edge over other. So that's what we're gonna see. You know, really appreciate y'all for tuning in, showing y'all boys some love. If y'all can, hit that subscribe button if you're new. Please consider liking up this video as well if you're new to the channel. And if you've been rocking with your boy, you made it this far, please consider liking as well. Okay? Really means so much to me for y'all putting y'all, 2 cents in, showing your boy some love. Helps me continue to push this content out to the public. Okay? Thank y'all so much in advance. Okay? So, we're moving on to 5th quarter. This is going to be an interesting watch again, ladies and gentlemen. Do not get in y'all feelings about these grades. We want honest, fair, and critique, and that's what I'm here to bring y'all, some honesty. We want, the truth. And so sometimes, the truth does hurt, but we definitely want the truth and see who's the strongest. Who knows? It might be a tie. We don't know, but we're going to see who's going to be top tier band in this battle. Okay? Really appreciate y'all for tuning in. So with that being said, please look to the cards next to me so we know what we'll be grading. We'll be grading sound selection, power, articulation, arrangement, overall cleanness. Alright? So with that being said, this is more so of, the sound selection. It's going to be considered 10 because zero quarter has spirit songs and etc. stuff like that. That's why we're going with 10 in song selection, because the book is going to be there. There's no traditional songs. There's no spirit songs. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're grading on. We want to see how good that book sound against each other and who was the cleanest. And if they consistent, hey, so be it. That's what we want. We want clean and consistency. That's what we want out of this battle. So with that being said, it looks like it's going to be a decent sized battle. It's not going to be too long, but it's going to be a nice battle to see those two go at it. Okay? So let's get to it. Again, shout out to IVG for getting this footage. UAPB is going to start us off. Let's start it off there. Again. Give that a grade. Song selections 10, powers 10, articulation is 8, arrangements 10, cleanness is a 9. Definitely was a lot of hit and misses in that. They got a 47. The beginning was bad. They was not attacking throughout majority of the song. The tubas were muddy as well. So, was not their strongest coming into this fifth. You know, that definitely hurt them. That definitely hurt them. You know, I don't know if they just missed the beginning of him, you know, directing or whatever, but definitely did not sound good. Moving on. Yeah, girl. Yeah, girl. Was not a perfect, but it was almost a perfect. Song selections 10, powers 10, articulations 10, arrangement is 10, cleanness is a 9. Muddy tuba break. It just definitely needed just needed to sprucing it up some more. They just needed just a tad bit of seasoning on in there and feel good. That'd be good. But I'm gonna give them a pen though, because it was a nice song selection. That's probably something I would have put out there too. So, you know, hey, it was good. I just wish it was tad bit cleaner. Tad bit cleaner, Graham. Moving on.
Natalia,
Are you gonna be my mommy and daddy?
we sure would love that.
Almost a perfect. Tubas, man. That's all I can really say, man. They had everything else. It's mostly the cleanness. The tubas are just a tad bit muddy. They're not syncing up together, and so that's kind of hurting the band. Some is that they're not staying consistent in attacking with each other. Especially if you got some multiple parts as far as getting those phrases out as well. It just sounds muddy, for the majority they sound good, but the thing is, when it comes down to the bass, you got to sound unison, or if it's not unison, it's gonna show, because the tubas are very loud, and when tubas are loud, we can hear when people are not attacking at the same time. So, moving on. Okay, Grand Fam. Let's give him that perfect right there. Yeah. Yes, indeed. That was strong. That was strong. That was nice. That was good. That was good. Moving on, man. They hit what they needed to hit. They hit what they needed to hit. I have no two complaints about that. I would say too. I guess if I would say anything too, it just had to be a tad bit careful. But it was good. It was good. Moving on.
When your kid is hurting, and there's nothing you can do about it.
What I mean by balance, dog. It's a ballad battle. This is what I came to hear. Yeah, UAPB. Yeah, UAPB. That's what UAPB excels at right there, ladies and gentlemen. When they pull a ballot on your ass, that's it. Woo! UAPB, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, indeed, fam. Woo! Right. Give that shit a Ric Flair moment. Woo! Oh, that shit was nice. Oh, that shit was nice. Alright, Grambling. Let's see what you're gonna respond back with. Alrighty. So this is my response to that. Song selection, I'm gonna give that a 9. I was expecting something slower. Don't get me wrong. Shackles, Praise You. I'm not saying that was a bad song, but I just feel like I wanted something slower to respond back to what UAPB gave us. Yet y'all did pick it back up, but I just feel like that was just missing that. You know what I'm saying? Power was a 10, Articulation's 9. It was just some phrases that was not hitting. Some phrases was short and they was not being short. Arrangements 10, Cleanness is a 9 as well. It was the tubas, man. The tubas. So they got a 47 on that one. Was not their strongest. Moving on.
Lay back and just forget the pressure. Always.
There was Super Saiyan in this thing. I mean, it was good. It was short and to the point. You know, no complaints on that one. No complaints at all from that one. For the most part, it sounded clean. I couldn't really spot anything tad bit. Well, I lied. I could say there was just a couple small stuff in there, but it wasn't too noticeable. You know what I'm saying? So I give him a perfect on that one. That was nice, UAPB. That was nice. Nice little Super Saiyan. Perfect. Moving on. Song selections 10, powers 10, articulations 10, arrangements 10, overall cleanness is a 9. Almost a perfect. It's just the tubas just needed to be sprucing up just a tad bit, and I think they would have it. They were doing good for the majority, but it's like when we got to the split, they played it good the first time, but when we got that second round about, I was like, you know. You feel me? I was just like, you know, it was so much going on. I was like, dang, you know, I don't know. I don't know about that one. So, yeah, it was just missing just that little small smidget. I think it would have been good. But it's just, you know, it's bad when you're not attacking together, especially if it's a complicated super part. Moving on. Yes, indeed. They done went Super Saiyan Blue God on this thing, man. They done did that. They did that. No complaints from that from UAPB. They hitting. They hitting. Hey, I see you, UAPB. They hitting right now. Graham gonna have to shake back from these stutters. UAPB is hitting right now. They are doing really good. They're hitting consistently right now. Oh man, that's that stuff. Moving on. We're gonna bring it back. give him that. Okay. I feel it. Nice little perfect. Now, what I would say about that, though, is that there was a part when it didn't seem too present. It was kind of empty a little bit. So, I don't know if that was just how I felt, you know. But, I mean, I liked it. You know, complaints on that. Really sound good to me, at least, from what I can hear. But like I said, there was just some type of emptiness like in the middle of that song somewhere. If you kind of keep on getting that, it's like I felt like there should be some type of segue to get to that part. That's just me though. But you know, it was not bad. It was not bad. Moving on. Okay, UAPB. They don't work ultra instinct in this thing, man. I see y'all, UAPB. That was nice. That was real nice, man. Give that shit a Ric Flair moment. Woo! Y'all heard that pin game on that bitch, bro? That shit sound nice. Yes, UAPB. Oh my goodness. Woo! UAPB coming with the shits, y'all. They coming through with it. That's all I gotta say, dog. Moving on. They brought it back again. Okay, Grand Fam. Alrighty. Oh man, they all went Super Saiyan in this thing. Okay, Grand Fam. Okay, Grand Fam. They done kicked it up at the end. I see. They don't kick it up at the end. It look like we got one more round and that's it, ladies and gentlemen. One more round. Let's see how this sticks. Let's see how this sticks. Moving on. Okay, UAPB. Alrighty. Oh man, now we made it to the legendary club, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations, UAPB, for making to the legendary club, ladies and gentlemen. That's one of those few things, you know, band can stay consistent. That deserves some praise, man. You get 5 perfects in a row, you making something. Unfortunately, in this battle, when we get to the 5th quarter, they're not gonna respond after this, so they can't get an emoji by their name. But they got the trophy emoji, so they better put that work in this book for this one. They kind of struggled in the beginning, but they shook back up. So it was a good way to end with UAPB for their last song. We're gonna see how Grambling do in a little bit, but congratulations, UAPB, for making it to the legendary club. Really sound good, you know. They came out with a purpose. They took a couple jabs in the face, but they came out swinging with the uppercut at the end. So I ain't mad at them. They sounded real good. Nice arrangement by them. Okay? So no complaints. One thing I would say is that, you know, I will be seeing some other band battles between them. I saw somebody voted with UAPB versus Mississippi Valley, but they kind of voted kind of late, so I can't count that. So they're going to have to re-vote on that battle. So if y'all new to this channel and y'all part of the UAPB family or Mississippi Valley family, please consider following and subscribing so we can watch that battle soon, okay? So with that being said, congratulations UAPB for making to the legendary club. Moving on. Bring it back. Alrighty. Then one Super Saiyan Blue God in this thing, fam. Woo! That was nice. That was nice. That was nice. That was a nice watch. Alright. So let's give that a grade, man. Really appreciate y'all for tuning in, showing y'all boys some love. If y'all made it to the end of the video right here, man, please consider following, liking, subscribing. Do it up, man. Be a part of this family, man. And hit that subscribe button here on YouTube. Hit that like button, please. Helps your boy out a lot. Give y'all the fair, honest critique, the verdict of this battle, ladies and gentlemen. It was a very entertaining battle. It had its twists and turns. A lot of the weaknesses were shown today in this battle. So, let's give a good fair shake. It was a tie in zero quarter. It was a tie in halftime. Okay? Let's see will this be enough. Okay? So, we're going to grade fifth and see who was the strongest band. Okay? So, we're going to do Grambling first, and then we're going to do UAPBs. Okay? Grambling got a 345. UAPB's next. Alrighty. Read them and weep, ladies and gentlemen. Read them and weep. It looks like, y'all won't believe me, but it looked like UAPB beat them by 1 point. On the scale, it looked like they beat them by 1 point, ladies and gentlemen. So UAPB won this battle. 1 point difference. Very, 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 very close. I think what hurt Grambling was their consecutiveness as far as their missing. Okay, I think like the first one they kind of struggled a little bit on. The second one they did good. Third song they did bad. Fourth song they did bad. So that's what hurt them, ladies and gentlemen. 1 point difference. UAPB takes this one, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, it was very close. It was neck and neck pretty much majority of the battle. Like 0 quarter, halftime. It just got to the fifth. UAPB was stronger. So, with that being said, y'all, really appreciate y'all for tuning in, showing y'all boys some love. I'm finna get up out of here, man. And like I tell y'all always, deuces.